ChessDiagnostic.
Hey everybody, here's a short miniature between Bobby Fischer and Reuben Fine for My Chess Games number 5. Bobby Fischer's white, and it starts out with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and then bishop to c4. So we're in the Italian game, and basically Bobby Fischer is playing a casual game against Reuben Fine, and he plays a little more aggressively and sacrificially. Now this is a classic line after bishop to c5 and b4. We get the Evans Gambit, where white is sacrificing a pawn for rapid development of his queenside pieces and in the center. So Reuben Fine accepts the sacrifice, or the gambit, if you want to call it that, of a pawn, and after c3 and d4, he accepts another pawn because the c3 pawn is pinned. But of course, with all these pawn captures, black is getting behind in development. So after white castles, he takes yet another pawn, and notice that white is going to be developing very quickly, while black has his rooks and two minor pieces sitting completely inactive, as well as his queen. Fischer develops his queen to b3, forming this battery against the f7 pawn. Now, of course, the knight can't come in because we just take it, so he uses his queen. But after that, the queenside knight is developed, and now white is starting to have some threats. So technically it's equal here, but practically it's quite hard to play, because black is undeveloped, and he has some threats, such as bringing the bishop in, and he'll have rapid development, while black is going to have some troubles. Now, a good idea is to trade this knight to trade some active pieces, but the problem with that is that white is actually threatening to trade all of black's active pieces and then just simply start an attack. So Reuben Fine's trying to develop his last piece in castle, but he's one move behind now, because after the knight comes in, he's forced to trade, and now the pawn's threatening the knight, which has no good square. If it moves back, then that's bad, and if he moves forward, as he does in the game, then Fischer just takes the knight. And now look at this position where white has traded all of black's active pieces, and white can now threaten the queen with bishop to b2, and his rooks are connected. So after the queen moves to g5, it looks like the bishop's covering this square, but Fischer has an ace in the hole with h4. Now, Reuben Fine could have put up a little more resistance with queen to g6, so we see here, still protecting this pawn, but after queen to a3, he's hitting both the bishop and cutting through this diagonal, preventing the king from castling, as well as checking with the rook and getting a checkmate. So effectively at this point, Reuben Fine is lost. Let's turn this computer off. So h4, he just accepts it, but after the bishop takes, there's no hope for black, because either he's going to move his rook, and now it doesn't even matter. He can check with the rook, the bishop could take, but even if he doesn't, the king moves. We play queen to g3, deflecting the queen away from this diagonal. If he takes, we just play bishop to f6 checkmate. And if he moves the queen to try to protect it, we just play bishop to f6 anyway. And so there's really no way other than, even if rook takes, it's basically a mate in 8. If we calculate here, the longest would be some ridiculous computer line of giving up the queen, playing d6. It's just, there's no point in looking at this line. So a very fascinating game by Bobby Fischer, and a very kind of picturesque and beautiful move with the queen moving along the rank to deflect the black queen and get a checkmate against black's completely inactive position. A brilliant game by Fischer, and definitely incredibly that he played this game just during a casual encounter. I hope you enjoyed this game, and follow along for future videos. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for future videos. See you in the future.